Hey, Shalom, Shalom. First off, I'd like to say, Call Halal, Yahweh, Bahashim, Yahweh Shah, Bahashim, Rakakwadash. I'd like to give double honors to the apostles and the elders of Great Millstone who taught me this truth. Also, I'd like to say peace, blessings, and salutations to the hopeful elect, the Akim, that's pushing this word in all sincerity and faith throughout the four corners of the earth. For the few sincere sisters, the Akwat, who listen and believe, Shalom to you as well. Shalom to all the new fruit, the new viewership, the new believers coming into this faith. Just back with another lesson. And of course, we're in the age of information, due mainly because we have the Internet of Things, the World Wide Web. And I guess it's a gift and a curse. I was meditating on this earlier, but from time to time, I think about this because even, one of these insiders, I believe is Nick Rockefeller, if I'm not mistaken, he said that he wished that the internet was never invented because now through the internet, just the masses of the people have access to all different types of information, man. But the beauty of it for the men of the Lord, for the men of faith, is that we were able to see our elders, putting up YouTube videos to where we were able to learn the truth. We didn't actually have to live in New York City, in these other places. But mainly, I'm going to just speak, from the standpoint of the apostles and the elders of Great Millstone. I live in Texas, so without, the internet, it'll probably been difficult for me to find this word. But ultimately, the Most High set up the internet as an instrument for this word to go throughout the four corners of the earth. Because ultimately, like it says when you read in Matthew 24, when this gospel shall be preached throughout the earth, then shall the end come. So loosely paraphrasing that scripture, it shows, according to prophecy, that we're in the end times, in the last days. And mainly because, number one, the truth has been spread. And one of the main tools and instruments has been this internet. Now, on the flip side, that's why promiscuity within these women is at an all-time high, because in the 80s, the 90s, the early 2000s, there was no social media, to where women have access to way more men than, in previous times, and so on and so forth, man. It's just a lot of nonsense on the internet. But at the same time, you got the brothers putting up videos, and then it's all types of truthful information just in general, and things that, at the click, you can learn, whether you want to learn how to make a certain dish, whether you want to learn how to install something on your car, just all different, just random information is on the internet. And I guess specifically, I'm thinking about YouTube. But, I'm grateful that I was able to find the truth, because that's how I first started seeing the elders preach. I was watching YouTube back in 2008 just to share a little bit of my testimony. It was around the time where this guy, Barack Obama, he was campaigning for office, and I was looking up stuff on YouTube about him because I was like curious. I was like, man, who is this guy that they kind of pushing and whatever the case may be. And then back then, you'll have the related videos on the side. I saw one of the videos from one of the bishops actually first, out in Connecticut, of Great Millstone, teaching the truth. But it's beauty in the fact that the believers were able to get this truth, and this truth at this appointed time is being taught at hyperdrive, man, through the Spirit of the Lord, But at the same time, I guess the flip side, I'm getting tired of everybody on the internet. Really, everybody, outside the prophets and anybody that's giving any, fruitful information, they should just shut the hell up, man. Because there's way too many podcasts and sports shows and this and that where everybody can have a platform to just pontificate their opinion. But the true message is ultimately going to be the word, because this word, the brothers that put up these videos, the brothers that go out and speak, we're teaching prophecy, which the word prophecy means to say what's to say before. So we're preaching the will of the Most High before it happens, man. All of the impending judgment that's waiting ahead for Great Babylon, or Babylon the Great, which we know as America. But before I ramble on too much, I'll just hit a few scriptures, Lord willing, this to edify, man. But the point being made, I guess, while I'm rambling, I'm over the internet, man. You know, if it wasn't for, you know, brothers having this as a platform to put up our videos on the, you know, the various YouTube channels, man, I really wouldn't care. Of course, you know, certain things on the internet that I get enjoyment off of, you know, because I like watching certain podcasts and interviews and, you know, in my folly. But if it all was taken away, you know, I would find a way to adjust, just like I was able to live, you know, because I'm at an age where I lived life before the internet of things and before social media and all of that stuff. So I will be able to manage eventually. But most of this world, they will bug out, man. The people that are within this world without social media, they would literally bug out, man. They wouldn't know how to do anything, go anywhere. When people would have to be faced to think for themselves, you know, to get a fruitful outcome, it'll go south for a lot of people quickly, man. But I'll probably end up titling the lesson something to that effect. I'm over the internet at this point, man, because it's just too much folly and too much wickedness that goes on. You know, just it's all at the tip of your finger. But just going into how I'm grateful that the word came out of, you know, for a majority of the brothers that woke up during what's called, you know, the YouTube age, is because we seen, you know, brothers preaching on YouTube before, you know, we actually had the chance to meet them in person at a camp. But this is Psalms 19:2. It says, day unto day uttereth speech, and night unto night showeth knowledge. So, you know, the brothers preaching this word, man, you can go to YouTube channels and you can put these videos on 24/7, man. You can just, it's night unto night, day unto day, show of knowledge. Because the real knowledge, you know, the real science or whatever, or know-how is the breaking down of the Bible, man. Preaching words of prophecy, preaching the will of the Lord. Okay? So the prophets, we're really at the forefront of any knowledge that's being professed. And I'm not saying that you can't learn anything from someone who doesn't necessarily, you know the Bible and all of that. But the men of the Lord preaching the truth, we're at the forefront. And everything else just kind of goes behind that. But, you know, I wish the Lord would just bring an end to a lot of the folly, you know, that we have to see. Verse 3, it says, there is no speech nor language where their voice is not heard. And the word, you know, it went out through the four corners of the earth, man, because even, you know, outside of the domestic U.S., you know, you got brothers that are waking up throughout the four corners of earth. Brothers in Holland, brothers in the UK, brothers in Suriname, you know, all throughout, you know, South America, I believe. So this truth has spread throughout the four corners of the earth, man.
Power off.
And brothers that may not necessarily speak or know English, they're able to understand the word to preach in their first or their native language. Verse 4 says, their line is gone out through all the earth, and their words to the end of the world. So start with our apostles who started, you know, putting their street speakings and their videos on the YouTube channels, man. That was the way that this word went out through the ends of the earth. Okay. To where ultimately the election could be sealed for prophecy's sake, man. You know, so I'm grateful that the internet was invented. It's been a great thing. I've learned a lot, you know, myself, you know, first and foremost, just watching, you know, the apostles and the elders videos. And then, of course, you know, there's just a wealth of knowledge and other things you can learn about. You can learn about different animals, plants. You know, it's just, we're in a time right now. Matter of fact, I'm going to get this real quick. Where is that scripture? Because even the people that don't necessarily believe the Bible, understand the Bible, everyone has a higher access to information, man. than ever before. So in a certain sense, you could say, for lack of a better word, people are more smarter, you know, or whatever the case may be, due to, you know, the internet. But this is Daniel 12:4. It says, "But thou, O Daniel, shut up the words and seal the book, even to the time of the end." So we're at the time of the end. That's why the seals have been loose through the, you know, the comforter, Yahweh Shai, to where we're able to get the full understanding of the Bible and of these prophecies, man. Okay? It says, "Many shall run to and fro, and knowledge shall be increased." So the point I wanted to get in reading that, it says, knowledge shall be increased. So even those that are without this truth, they're on a heightened level of knowledge, because the word knowledge, it just means the know-how. It comes from the word scientia in the Latin. It just means to know how, or to know. So anybody can have knowledge, but we know in the scriptures, Proverbs 4:7, it says wisdom is the principal thing. So getting the information, you know, that's just the basic or the fundamental level. But it says, but with all that getting, get understanding. So it comes to a level, it comes to a level of applying information, applying knowledge and wisdom to where you'll have understanding through experience, if that makes sense, man. Because there's a lot of people out there on an information grab, you know, even Israelites, man, they watching this camp, that camp, but they're not really establishing a solid foundation in this word, man. They're just information grabbing, not really applying anything that they're learning, trying to seek out the understanding of it. But just in general, you know, the populace as a whole, everybody is on a heightened level of just information, man, just mainly because of the internet, man, you know. But at the same time, it seems to make people more dumbed down, you know, because I remember a time before, you know, cell phones even, you know, when you just had the cordless phones. And I even had a pager in high school. You know, I'm showing my age, but I remember I used to have to remember phone numbers. You know, I could remember, man, probably 20 numbers at least, just in the top, off the top of my head. Okay, back in the payphone era. And then, of course, having the ability to navigate and get around the city, you know, before you had Google Maps and all of these different mapping, you know, applications to help you get to and fro. You know, a lot of people, they wouldn't even be able to commute from home to work without relying on Google Maps, man, because they don't have any sense of direction. They don't know that the sun rises in the east and sets in the west to be able to establish their geographical location. And those are just notable examples, man. Of course, you know, there's other things as well, but the internet, in some sense, even though it's making people smarter, for lack of a word, it's also dumbing people down to where they don't know how to do anything. You got a lot of people that it's like people know everything, but they're unable to actually do anything. It's like people have become smarter, but more incapable, if that makes sense, just due to the reliance we have on the internet. And of course, you know, I'm not going to be holier than now. In certain ways, you know, I probably can see myself, you know, falling victim, because it just makes things more easier with the internet, you know, to where, you know, I don't remember numbers like that no more. You know, just going back to the example I cited earlier, you know, just because of my reliance on, you know, having the contact already saved and all of that stuff. But I want to get another scripture. This is 2nd Esdras. Yeah, this is 2nd Esdras 14 and 17. It says, "For look how much the world shall be weaker through age, because since the time of Adam, you know, when Adam, you know, introduced sin into the earth, the earth as we know it, and the people included, they have been in a diminishing state. And right now, in the last days, that's why they call this generation Generation Z, because what's after Z? It's like we're at the weakest of the weak, you know, as just far as the generations and just the state of the world in general, you know, has become. And I know that reliance on the internet and just people, you know, having that reliance on the internet, it makes them more incapable. It's like people know every damn thing, but are unable to do anything, you know? And that's why I'm really getting tired of the internet. I'm over the internet at this point because everybody, you know, feels that they're an expert on this, that. Everybody's a marriage expert. Everybody's an expert on the Bible. Everybody knows this, knows that, you know. But I'm at a point now, I'm just like, you be just wanting to tell people, and I know brothers feel the same way sometimes. Just everybody just shut the F up, man. We're in a time where the prophet's voice needs to be heard more, and it will be heard more, even though it's an unpopular message. You know, this is the message of salvation, the gospel, the good news for some, but it's going to be bad news for a lot of you people, man. You know, but let me finish this. This is back in 2nd Esdras 14 and 17. It says, for look how much the world shall be weaker through age. And that's what's happening right now. Everybody's just in a weakened state. Of course, we can go into like the food. We're not eating natural food anymore, which that weakens just the body's ability to operate, you know, at its optimal level. Of course, you know, children have access to all of these different gadgets. You know, the children are on the internet more now. You know, iPad, a phone, instead of children just being outside, being more into nature, you know, having recess, allowing children just to experience like real organic life. That's making a lot of children weaker, man. And that's just one example, of course, as well. But it seemed like with all this access to all this information, it seems like people are more dumber. It's crazy. It says, for look how much the world shall be weaker through age, so much the more shall evils increase upon them that dwell up therein. So that's the time that we're coming into, man, to where the evils are going to increase. There's going to be many great miseries to them who have walked in great pride, like it says in 2nd Esdras, the 8th chapter, man. We're coming to a time that has not been since the history of the earth. I'm loosely paraphrasing Daniel, the 12th chapter. Okay. And mainly because sin, iniquity has reached the heavens. Okay. So the Most High, he's about to intervene on matters at hand. So that's why I be in the spirit, just like I'm over the internet a lot of times. Of course, I like seeing the apostles, you know, put up their street speaking every week, and certain other camps and brothers, you look forward to their videos. But the scriptures tells us, according to prophecy, Amos, the 8th chapter, that there's going to be a famine of the word. So pretty soon, you know, brothers ain't going to be on the highways and the byways preaching. You know, it ain't going to be no YouTube channels or whatever other platform, Rumble, to see the word. But the beauty for the men of the Lord is that the word, I heard the apostle Rakah say this. He said, man, the word is already in us, man. Now, of course, we try to, you know, be renewed in the spirit day by day. But the word, for the most part, if you've been in this thing for a good amount of time, the word should be kind of hardwired into you to a certain degree, man. You know, at least on certain things, you know. But the point being made, that's why we always quote Isaiah 33 and 6. Wisdom and knowledge shall be the stability of thy times and strength of salvation. Because when everything breaks down, when you're not going to have access to the internet and Wi-Fi, we're going to see who the Lord's really dealing with, man. Who's really capable and incapable in those days. Who can just, you know, act like they're on Trivial Pursuit and just give out a lot of random information and stuff. Or who has the ability to actually perform and do things, man. That's the time that we're coming into. So this is my rant, man. I'm just over the internet at this point. Of course, there's things that I enjoy on the internet, but if it went tomorrow, man, you know, I would be cool with that at this point, man, because the folly and all of the madness and the wickedness that goes on the internet, man, I'm just tired of it. And I'm waiting on the Lord to just intervene on these people, man. So with all being said, Lord willing, this edified, I want to give all praises to Yahweh, Bahashim, Yahweh Shah, Bahashim Rakakwadash. Double honors to the apostles and the elders of Great Millstone. Shalom, peace and blessings to the elect.